Alright, guys. It is Friday, December 11th, 2020 at 1:58 p.m. Let's take a look at these headlines. We have Disney Plus reveals new Marvel, Star Wars originals, and a price hike. Raya and the Last Dragon will stream for an extra $30 the same day it is in theaters, March 5th, but streaming dates for Marvel movies like Black Widow remain a mystery. It says Disney Plus will raise its U.S. subscription price by $1 in March, bringing it to $8 a month, Disney said Thursday as it unleashed a flood of news about its streaming services at a 4-hour event. Disney laid out plans for as many as 20 new Marvel and Star Wars series, promised to let animation fans stream animated fantasy Raya and the Last Dragon the same day it hits theaters for an extra $30, and revealed a new bundle that packages ad-free Hulu with Disney Plus and ESPN Plus for $19 a month. But the company was silent about its plan for streaming Marvel's Black Widow and other mega budget movies set to come out next year, like Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings and Eternals. Typically, Disney movies make their way to Disney Plus about 5 to 8 months after the premiere in theaters. But during the coronavirus pandemic, Disney has been accelerating its films turnaround to streaming, like movies like Frozen 2, Star Wars, The Rise of Skywalker, and Pixar's Onward drop on Disney Plus months earlier than planned. Then Disney decided its film version of Hamilton, Pixar's Soul, and many of its coming live-action movies should skip theaters entirely. Even movies like its live-action Mulan and Raya stream on Disney Plus for an extra fee at the same time they are in some theaters. But Disney didn't provide any guidance about when it would present Marvel movies or on Disney Plus. Fogginess about that suggests the Hollywood giant is still uncertain about aggressively putting its biggest budget movies online, even as the pandemic continues to keep its film fans out of the cinema seats. Alright, so Disney Plus unveiled a lot of stuff. I'm excited for a lot of shows for Disney Plus, and $1 isn't that much for a price hike. Alright, let's go to the next story. It says Australia cancels COVID vaccine trial over unexpected false positives for HIV. The Australian government has cancelled further development of a COVID-19 vaccine after several trial participants had falsely positive tests for HIV. The vaccine has been developed by the University of Queensland, while Australian biotech company CSL Limited had been under contract to provide 51 million doses. The vaccine has been on schedule for mid-2021 with Phase 2 and 3 clinical trials due to commence in December. On Friday, however, Australian Prime Minister Scott Morrison announced that the University of Queensland vaccine will not be able to proceed based on the scientific advice and will no longer feature as part of Australia's vaccine plan, adding that I think the decision we made today should give Australians great assurance that we're proceeding carefully and we're moving swiftly, but not with any undue haste here. Alright, so they decided to cancel the vaccine because it was giving false positives for HIV, which is pretty spooky. Alright, guys, next. New York must raise taxes regardless of whether it receives federal relief, Governor Cuomo says. And what should come across should come as a shock precisely to no one, New York's Governor Andrew Cuomo, famously for wasting hundreds of millions of dollars on Tesla Buffalo bond doogie, thinks he's such a great accolator of capital that his state needs to raise taxes. It says this, of course, comes with businesses and private citizens are moving hand over fist out of the state in favor of states like Florida and Texas, where there is no personal income tax. Cuomo made the comments on Wednesday of this week when he asked about the deficit created for his state by the COVID-19 pandemic. Mr. Cuomo didn't specify which taxes the state would look to increase, and his aides didn't answer subsequent questions, the Wall Street Journal reported. That's some high quality leadership if we've ever seen it. The state had adopted a budget in April that was dependent on further federal relief that has not yet been materialized. Now Cuomo is saying that even if the federal relief happens, tax hikes are still on the table. Alright, guys. Next, New Jersey lawmaker wants mandatory COVID shots for all kids without exemption. This is going to be a hot button issue because a lot of people saying they want the vaccine and a lot of people are saying they can't take it. Other people are saying they have allergic reactions to it, so they're not taking the vaccine. And now the New Jersey lawmaker wants mandatory COVID shots for all kids without exemption. It says a state senator in New Jersey wants the coronavirus vaccine made mandatory for all school-aged children despite them being in the least at-risk group. Says Middlesex Democrat Senator Joseph Vitale also wants to eliminate exemptions that have been used in the past to prevent their children from receiving shots. It says when it is that a vaccine is appropriate for children, I believe it ought to be included in that list of vaccines that are required for children, Vitale told reporters. I like to incorporate it into other vaccination bill that will require children to get vaccinated excuse me. That will require children to get vaccinated as a condition to entering school, he added. Vitale also said there is a separate effort underway to make the vaccines mandatory for university students in the state. It is not complicated to decide whether or not to include COVID vaccine as a condition of school, he said. Adding the decision is going to be whether or not the vaccine is available and if science supports its efficacy. New Jersey currently mandates that children must have several vaccines in order to attend school, including the MMR, the polio, and chickenpox. However, thousands of children have been exempt from the shots, with parents citing religious beliefs. There was an attempt last year by lawmakers to eliminate such exemptions and mandate the vaccines across the board, but it failed when angry parents stormed the State House. Alright, guys, so that's going to be a doozy for parents who aren't even confident with taking the vaccine shot themselves. Let's see what happens. Alright, guys, that's it for this video. Hit like and subscribe for more news, and see you guys next time. God bless.